It's Tuesday, March 30th, 2010. You know, the missus and I are no strangers to tragedy. We've had the tragedy of a daughter dying in a local hospital, unattended. My wife here at the house within a mile, give or take, of the hospital. I'm out at Somerton as superintendent, 5 minutes away, 10 at the most. Never got a call at all saying that the daughter was having a bad time after being admitted in the wee hours of the night. She died unattended because the doctor that she was working for, having been in transition, leaving the hospital as a nurse's aide, LPN or whatever they're called, not a full nurse, and working for a local doctor, and that doctor wouldn't answer his beeper when they tried to call him, and they didn't call in anybody else. And that's no crime, but it's a tragedy. And then later we lose a grandson in an automobile accident in our car, struck by a motorcyclist that had been going nearly 100 miles an hour. Now, we know about tragedy. So when I tell you that 2 tragedies here in the Yuma area in the last month just sickened me, just hurt for what happened to children and what happened to parents. And we'll get to that. I was just almost overwhelmed with sorrow in both cases, for not only the one that died, but for those that were left behind, particularly the mothers and the fathers. You know, I thank God that Donna and I never had to face such horrors as these parents have had to face. Well, the first story at the news, I don't know, a week or 2 ago, and I thought that I had never heard anything worse, and yet the second story that I'll hit on the next video might be even worse. We human beings have a capacity to let terrible things happen, or some of us have a capacity to cause terrible things to happen. I misplaced the paper that dealt with this first incident, but when I read it, I couldn't believe it. A young man, gotten just how old, but in the 20, give or take, range, killed his younger brother. They'd gotten into a fight, and he stabbed and killed his brother. Whew, unbelievable. And you know, I grieved for the boy who died, and I grieved for the boy who killed, but most of all I grieved for the mother. Oh, the dad too, but the mother. Oh, the mothers are close to their children. That mother lost a child. She lost 2 children. For as sure as I am here talking to you, the courts will put away that older boy for a long, long time. And even though you love both boys, you can never feel the same towards the boy that kills his brother. I don't care how good a mother you are or how good a father. That's gonna stick and stick and stick. The crawl will maybe not be full of gall, but it's not gonna be like it used to be. That's for sure. There's no excuse for the older boy killing his brother. I know, incidentally, the newspaper pointed out the older boy's a known gang member and named the gang that he's a part of. Well, I'm not for gangs, but being a gang member is not any excuse to kill your brother. And I hope, I pray, that that boy has been able to say Mom, Dad, I meant to hurt him, but I never meant to kill him. In fact, I hope he's able to, in his soul, in his mind, to honestly believe that I meant to nick him, and somehow in the struggle, a fatal wound occurred. For the good of his soul, for the good of the survival of his parents, I hope he can honestly say that to them. Won't do any good to say it in court, I don't think. I think he's going to go to prison for many, many, many years. But it would mean a lot to the parents if he can say that and mean it, and if they can believe it. God help us, what in the world are we coming to? Oh, I know, the Bible talks about Cain and Abel, so it's not certainly a new thing. Cain and Abel, at least, inference is murder for cause, greed. This death was senseless, absolutely senseless. I pray to God he didn't mean to kill his brother. God bless.